Today we're reacting to a video that I found when scrolling on YouTube. I was like, scrolling YouTube and I came across this video and I thought it'd be interesting to like react, to make a reaction video out of it. The title was just like, I don't know, the title and the thumbnail got my attention. And I just figured maybe an interesting video to make, interesting video to react to. So further ado, this is Japan's most smelliest idol, Suzuki MOB Mobupi, I think, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, Mobupi. I want to say Mobupi, by Neon John. So let's check it out. Let's see what the video is all about.
She's an underground idol who started to smell success because of her butt, and talking about not bathing, she even
What? Interesting segue to like start the video. Okay, I'll say this. I don't know much about like idol culture. I mean, I know like there's like, idols, they sing and dance and all that, but like this is an interesting, I don't know, like an interesting idol, because yeah, I just
became the representative of the bath cancellation community. Her name makes her sound like some sort of background character, but she's definitely an idol you're not going to forget. That's for sure. This is going to be interesting. In this episode,
for sure, this is for sure interesting. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, she's a cute girl. She's a cute girl. It's just I just want to know like why she's quote unquote smelly. I just want to know like why she does the things she does.
So the Potoko Files, we talk about Suzuki MOB. Most of us outside of Japan,
okay, Mobo, okay,
may not be aware of some of the more interesting personalities within the Japanese otaku landscape. So I thought I'd do a little video series and try to shed some light on these individuals. This is Otaku Files. Besides their reputation of being polite and respectful, something else which Japanese people are often associated with is cleanliness. And of course, as many would know, they do have a strong bathing culture. I myself love Japan.
Yeah, one thing I do notice, well, I guess not necessarily notice per se, but like something that I know, especially like in anime, is that they do love their onsen. They do love their bathhouses. And I have a question though about like bathhouses. So like, if you're a Japanese viewer and you're watching this video, is it more common to go to a bathhouse than to like take a bath at your own house? Like I don't know like exactly like where you see the most bathhouses in Japan. I don't know if like bathhouses are more common in the countryside than they are in the city. Like I just want to know. Also, bathhouse culture it's really interesting. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of interesting. I don't know. I don't think I could ever like go to a bathhouse. I don't know. This is the idea of like you having to get naked in front of strangers. it's something I don't think I could do. I mean, unless there's like a mixed bath. Okay, when I say mixed bath, I mean like a couple's bath. I mean, maybe that's worth doing, but like going to like a bathhouse with a bunch of men, it's like, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even shower at the gym. Like I don't like do showering at a gym. So I don't think I could do a bathhouse. I mean, I do want to like experience the bathhouse though, like just to see what it's about.
Japan's onsens, so it might surprise you to know that there are actually a number of people in Japan who actually hate taking baths.
Here's the thing, or in other Asian countries, in other Asian cultures, for all my international viewers, all my global viewers, do y'all also have y'all own onsen, or is that just a Japanese thing? Because I wonder. Like is there like onsens in Korea? Is there onsens in like the Philippines? Is there onsens in Thailand? Is there onsens in China? Or is that just a Japanese thing, a Japan thing?
baths. These people are a part of the Furo Kyanseru Kaiwai, or the bath cancellation community, and in this video we're going to be talking about their so-called representative, an underground idol named Suzuki MOB.
今土曜日から水木金土4日入ってないですね。だからこの
No clean and fresh idols here, thank you. Believe it or not though, there are actually a surprising number of idols in Japan that actually don't like taking baths. But it's...
You know, the interesting thing about this is this not even a Japanese thing or an idol thing. I just know that for some reason, I know certain celebrities here in the West, most people say, have come out and say they don't, take baths or like baths. It's just interesting. Like, it's just so like, if you don't take a bath, do you at least take a shower? If you don't take a shower, then how do you keep yourself clean? How do you keep yourself clean? How do you keep yourself, smelling good? Okay, here's one thing. I don't want to make it seem like stereotypical, but it's something I've heard. I believe most Asian people don't necessarily have an odor. That's what I heard. I don't know. That's what I've heard. I don't want to stereotype people or anything, but I just know that most Asian people tend to not have an odor. So I guess you guys can get away with it. But really, I just think that nothing's wrong with taking a bath. Nothing's wrong with showering. I think, me personally, I prefer either taking a bath or taking a shower, because who wants to smell bad? Who wants to smell dirty and smelly? And not only that, but just feel icky. You don't feel icky when not taking a shower or a bath.
Not exactly a good idea for them to talk about that publicly, which obviously makes Suzuki MOB, or Mobupi as she's also known as, a bit special. Although...
Okay, Mobupi. Okay, her name's Mobupi. And I'll say this, there might be a market for that. I'm not gonna lie. She might be leading into something that I can't say it's not touched or it's untouched. There might be a market for that. I'm not the participant of that market, but there might be a market for that. Hey, to each their own. Everyone got their own thing. And maybe smelly girls is somebody's thing.
She does have a particular reason for wanting to brand herself in this way, something we'll get into in just a bit. Mobupi is from Osaka and was exposed to the otaku side of things from
Osaka. Okay, I've heard good things about people from Osaka. I heard that Osakians, I guess you could call them, are more friendly. That's where most Japanese comedians are from. Yeah, I've heard good things about people from Osaka.
From a very young age, as her parents ran an anisong cafe in what is known as Osaka's Akihabara, Nipponbashi, while she was in elementary school, her father apparently being a big otaku into Gundam and tokusatsu. Anisong is essentially a genre. It's a catch-all term for anime songs, so an anisong cafe is a place where you can enjoy listening to or even singing anime songs while having a drink. So Mobupi grew up with those anime songs always playing in the background, and during weekends she would be in the...
So is it like karaoke? Because to me, right here, it looks like karaoke what they're doing. Like, what they're kind of doing is like karaoke, like a live mic night.
Office located on the second floor, where she would spend the day watching anime. She was practically raised as an otaku. Parenting 101. Just to be clear though, her father never actually forced her to watch anime. Mobupi also loved being on the small stage within the cafe and singing anime songs herself. It helps access a completely different part of her. But around that time, at least in Osaka, Mobupi explains that otaku was still viewed as kind of gross, so she apparently didn't have the best time at school and hated going. She also just wasn't the social type. Her mother was pretty understanding though, and once or twice a month would actually allow Mobupi not to go to school. Now this hatred of school also connects to her hatred of taking baths. Her parents would often tell her that because she had school the next day, she needed to take a bath. Because of that, Mobupi would associate the act of taking a bath with needing to go to school. So when she didn't need to go to school or was on school break, she just wouldn't bathe as her parents would still be.
Okay, that's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting that she associated bathing with going to school. I don't know what you would call that in child psychology, in a sense. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section what you think. In terms of like child psychology, what it did to her. You know, how did that experience in her childhood transcended into her adulthood? It's kind of interesting because usually, I know mostly boys are the ones who don't like taking baths. So it's like it's really interesting to know that a girl don't want to take a bath. You know, you would usually associate that with like young boys, but clearly here not. Clearly not.
Working. Unfortunately, her parents would change businesses around the time she was in middle school, but Mobupi would still sing anime songs whenever she had the opportunity up until high school, although she would start hiding the fact that she loved anime. Once in uni, she would get back to singing anime songs, and that includes participating in various open tournaments. Now, to keep a long story short, thanks to one of those events, she would be scouted as a starting member for an idol group. One of the co-founders looking to start that group was actually a former comedian named Matsumura Ippei. The idol group would come to be known as Nippon Wachacha. Mobupi wasn't actually interested in becoming an idol though, but to convince her, she was told
I mean, I'll say this. I'm kind of glad she was scouted to be an idol singer than anything else, you know. I mean, I'm kind of glad she choose that path and not a different path, so to speak. You know, because I know how sometimes men who do scouting, they try to find girls to participate in certain industries. So I'm kind of glad she, picked the idol route. But then again, idols, that's could be like, a dark industry as well in some form or shape. But from so far, I mean, I think she's doing good so far. So nothing to call home about, so to speak.
the direction of the group would be so that their songs would even be used for anime. Well, the group's concept eventually turned into more of a comedy-based idol group, and they never did end up doing any anime songs. I mean, the boss was a former comedian, so yeah. But being an idol really helped.
I mean, you know what? That actually could work. I mean, honestly, they don't necessarily have to do the singing. If they could do the comedy acts, they could just be a good performing group. They don't necessarily, her and her group doesn't necessarily have to do singing. They could do anything, really. I mean, I don't know what the guys come to see them. I mean, I guess they want to see cute girls, but whatever the case may be, I'm just saying they can do different avenues as a group, besides not just singing and dancing.
Helped Mobupi interact with others and made her feel like she could finally be herself. In regards to her name, Mobu is actually a term for a background or supporting character, and even though she'd say it meant she was a supporting character and the fans of the quote-unquote main characters, the actual reason is because she really liked Mob Psycho 100. Nippon Wachacha's strategy.
Mob Psycho 100. That's a good anime. It's really good. Yeah, I recommend Mob Psycho 100 if you haven't seen it. So far, she got good taste. I'm not gonna lie, she got some good taste. Give her that. She got good taste.
Was kind of unique. The members were essentially made to become YouTubers and were each given a MacBook so that they could edit videos. There was a valid reason for this though. The group debuted in March 2020, which
oh yeah, the 2020. Okay, but it's a good idea, getting them to do their individual YouTube channels and use their personalities to kickstart their own stuff. Also, that's a good way to show each individual member their personality and who they are.
Yes, was around the start of the pandemic. Nippon Wachacha was also originally going to be called Nippon no Wirusu, or the virus of Japan. This would be changed
Yeah. If 2020 didn't happen, I think that could have worked. Not gonna lie, I think that name for the group could have worked. It could have worked if it wouldn't be for what happened in 2020. So I get the name change. But again, if the incident of 2020 didn't happen, it could have worked. I mean, it could have worked. It could have been a gag, you know. I mean, I feel like that's a gag name in a sense. Oh, speaking of gag, they could, you know, I don't know if they do gag comedy, but they could have done gag comedy, slapstick comedy, you know, improv comedy. I could see them doing some type of like, whose line is it? You know the show Whose Lines Is It? I could see them doing that. I could see them doing that.
few months later. However, as many would know, myself included, it's not exactly easy to be successful on YouTube. Regardless of putting out content on almost a daily basis,
yeah, YouTube's a grind. I'm not gonna lie, it is a grind. Especially when you like, you know, it is a grind. From my experience, yeah, it is a grind. It's a slow process. You know, it's not an overnight process, but it's fulfilling. I always say this: YouTube is fulfilling for me. I do enjoy, you know, making videos, whether it be reactions or, you know, just me making a video, just talking. In general, I do enjoy it, and also enjoy streaming too. So follow me on Twitch. I do stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/YShankSkills. I'll be streaming. I don't, you know, so, you know, make sure to follow me on Twitch. And I will be coming back to YouTube streams in the future, but for the most part, I'm back on Twitch. So again, follow me on twitch.tv/YShankSkills. I'll leave it in the description below to come follow me.
Sub count would barely pass even 300. What changed for them was actually thanks to a video of a particular concert they did at a beach. The video was taken from a low angle, which revealed a lot. I'm not going to go into this, but taking shots from a low angle is...
Who was the cameraman? That's a good question. Who was the cameraman when he did this? Like, what guy, or I don't know who did it, but I don't know who the cameraman was, but for you to get a low angle shot, I mean, why are you trying to get low angle shots, my guy? Yeah, like, why are you trying to get low angle shots? Let's ask ourselves that question. Why are you trying to get low angle shots?
It's apparently quite a thing here in Japan. Also, Mobupi wasn't really aware of it, but she happened to have a large asset, which seemed to work in her favor.
So you're saying she got a big butt? Okay. I mean, who doesn't like women with big butts? I mean, who doesn't like that?
Anyway, the video generated a lot of views, and as a result...
Funny enough, I've never seen this video before. I actually don't know about her group. It's my first time hearing about this, so interesting. But yeah, again, who doesn't like a girl with a big butt?
The group's sub count would also go up, so Mobupi decided not to request the video to be taken down. Thinking that this was a sign that the group were on the right track to success, they set a goal of performing at the Budokan within the next 3 years.
So was she trying to like lean into it though? Like, is that the case? Like, she's trying to like lean into it? You know, the whole sex sales type angle?
If they failed, they would disband. Now, Mobupi was still in her 3rd year of uni around that time, and even though she had another year left, she convinced Ippei there wouldn't be enough time if they waited for her to graduate, and that they needed to go to Tokyo as soon as possible. And they did go, full of energy with a strong ambition, only to find themselves with no one in the audience.
So like, is Tokyo? Well, never mind. It pretty much is like the New York or L.A. of Japan, pretty much. I would, yeah, I would classify as like the L.A. to New York equivalent for Japan. It kind of reminds me of the song from Brent Faiyaz, L.A. Not, that song is playing in my head now. Yeah, it does reminds me of like that Brent Faiyaz song, L.A. The City of Angels, Land of God, City of Demons, land for us, in the City of Angels, in the land of God, in the City of Demons. That's the land for us, L.A., L.A., the place of all places. So just replace L.A. with Tokyo, because Tokyo, it's the place of all places. You know what I mean? It's all that's where everybody want to go. As far as like if you're from Japan, from what I understand, like everyone is trying to make it to Tokyo, the land of opportunity, the places of all places, city of angels, the city of demons. You feel me?
Even within the open tournaments they joined, they were just met with the cold shoulder. No one was interested in this comedy-centric idol group, and Nippon What?
Hey, wait, why not? I mean, why not? Why not? I mean, I'm like, what are they looking for? I mean, what are the people like, or whoever is looking for? I mean, I think it looks cool. I think it would work. Like I said, I think a comedy group would work. Not just mixing some singing, mixing some dancing, mixing some slapstick, mixing some gag, mixing some improv, mixing some acting. I mean, it would work. I mean, it worked in Osaka, so why can't they make it in Tokyo? Why they gotta switch up in Tokyo though?
Cha-Cha learned that they didn't actually create the base that they needed, and decided once more to put in their efforts into making YouTube videos. But then, it happened again. The event at the beach was actually a yearly thing, and once again a low-angle video ended up going viral.
Who's filming who's filming the low angle shots though? Like, I'm gonna know, like, who's filming these? Like, is it their manager? Like, is it someone in the crowd? I mean, if it's someone in the crowd, I know what you are. Buddy, I know what you are. If I know what you are. If you're one of the people in the crowds, I know what you are. I know what you are. If you're one of the people that's filming this at a low angle, I know.
Viral thanks to Mobupi's ass set. This ended up happening 3 years in a row, but Mobupi wasn't happy. It wasn't that she was against doing low-angle videos, but despite putting all her effort into making videos, she just could never beat her own ass set. The Budokan in 3.
So, is she feeling some type of like? What was she feeling? What was going through her mind? Like, did she feel like she's more than her assets? Again, it was a low angle. I'm assuming it's like her butt, like they're showing her butt. I don't know if they're showing the groin area, but you know what I'm saying. Like, but let's continue.
3 years' goal, though, would never be accomplished. It was looking pretty bad, but the group asked their fans to let them continue for another year, which of course wasn't a problem. But Mobupi had enough of relying on her ass set, and was also aware that if Nippon Wacha-cha relied too much on sexualized content, that they wouldn't even.
Yeah, I think focusing too much on like that type of stuff. Okay, I get it. Sex sells, cool, but I feel like the girls are more than just that. I feel like the girls should really showcase their talent versus assets. You know what I mean? Like, I think really and truly they need to lead in more on their talents than their quote unquote assets. I don't want the girls to fall into like a pitfall that they gotta rely on oh my god, their assets. I don't want that for the girls. Because I do want better for them. I think they could succeed. I think they got it. I think it could work for them. I just want them to rely on their talents. And that's one thing about, that sucks. As a female, I feel for y'all. I think these girls are talented. They got what it takes. I think that people need to take a chance on them. You know, not just look at them as like, you know, a piece of eye candy as far as like, you know, that type of content or that type of like, no. I think these are very talented women, and I feel like they're not getting the love that they deserve so far that I'm seeing and hearing.
Be allowed to perform at the Budokan in the first place. Just so you know though, the group would eventually manage to accomplish their goal of performing at the Budokan.
So is the Budokan like a big stage, like a big performance? I mean, it looks like it's a big stage, big performance. Hey, hey, that's great. I'm happy for them. You know, I'm happy that they get a chance to perform big. I want them to perform big. I want them to make it big. I mean, I'm actually, you know, I'm kind of rooting for them. I just don't want them to rely on like using like sex to sell, man. I really don't want that. They're more than that. I feel like they're more than that, you know. And that's coming for anyone, really. No, not just them, but just anyone around the world. All the women around the world, you know. You don't have to rely on, you know, your assets or whatever to you know, get attention or whatever. I think your talent should speak for you. Really honestly, I think your talent should speak for you.
Now, as I just mentioned, Mobupi was tired of people knowing her for her ass set, but in
Okay, so she really is getting tired of it. Okay. I mean, I get it. I understand. Like I just said, I get it. I wouldn't want, you know, if I was her, I wouldn't want that either. I wouldn't want to be known as the girl that is just known for that. I'm more, you know, I get it. She's more than that. She should be more than that. I think her and her group should be more than that. She has every right to be frustrated. That's what I'm glad that she's, you know, understanding that it's more than that. You know, you are a talented girl. You're in your group are talented. Y'all more than that. I think people should take y'all seriously and not play in y'all's faces. To be honest.
In 2024, she would finally get her chance to be branded something else, as someone who doesn't bathe.
Okay. We went from that to this. It's like, okay, so not gonna know why. Like, okay, why? I mean, okay. Here's my thing. When she did this, was she like trying to like scare people away, so to speak? Or was she trying to like bring people in? Because it could go like 82 ways. You could bring people in. Because like I said earlier, there's a market for that. I don't know who's part of that market, but I'm not a participant for that. I'm not a participant for that type of market. Or she could be scaring people away. I don't know. But let's find out where her mind was going when she did this.
I guess that's an improvement. As I talked about earlier, Mobupi's hate of taking baths started back in elementary school, and even after graduating would...
Okay. So we know she doesn't like taking baths. So my thing is this. Did her group members, did they ever like notice? Did they ever know? Could they smell her? Did they ever confronted her? Did they ever talk to her about it? I just want to know, like, if, like, what went down behind the scenes between her and her group members about her not taking baths and stuff. I just want to know.
Only take baths when she had to meet someone or as an idol had to perform. Oh, and
okay, so that's, I guess she kind of like made a way where they wouldn't notice. So basically, she only took baths when it's time to work. So when she's at home, she doesn't take a bath. Okay, I mean, I get it. I guess, you know, I mean, she's at home, so I guess to her it's like it doesn't matter. But if she has to like go work and stuff, yeah, she needs to like. Okay.
Apparently, friends and family didn't really matter. This was something she was clearly not hiding, having spoken about not bathing on both her own channel and also Nippon Wachacha's channel. But this in itself is not what would catch the attention of the public. On April 30th, 2024, a Twitter user would tweet about hating to take a bath so much that they decided to try out dry shampoo. This tweet would get thousands of likes and a ton of replies. Although there were some negative responses too, many could empathize, and some even shared tips on how to avoid taking a bath.
Okay, I never used. Okay, what is dry shampoo exactly? I don't think I've ever seen dry shampoo or used dry shampoo, but it reminds me of something. You guys ever heard about the cockroach lady? I call it the cockroach lady because I don't remember her name. She's like this Japanese lady, and she lives in like this filthy apartment, and in her apartment she has like cockroaches and stuff. And if I'm not mistaken, I think she used dry shampoo to like do her hair. Let me know if you know who I'm talking about. Like this is like was a big thing. Like the cockroach lady. I forgot her name. I forgot. Let me. Okay, I found her. It's her. This I call her the cockroach lady. But yes, this is her. I think she's like the first person I've seen use dry shampoo. I think that's how I first learned about dry shampoo. I find it interesting that I could find the most interesting people on the internet. I just find it fascinating how I just be finding these people on the internet. I swear. Oh my goodness. I swear. I just be finding the most interesting people. So I just want to share this. So if you made this far to the video, I'm just talking about like dry shampoo, and basically my first time ever hearing about dry shampoo, I think it's from this lady. So that's the reference I'm making.
今日は 10% 引き、昨日よりね、量多めで、昨日ね、もっとたくさん食べようと思ったから。お肉これすごくない？このお肉安くない？本来このくらいの量って200円くらいするのに、なんかもう割引ぐらい。だからこれ別にね、消費期限、賞味期限とかじゃないのに、安く買いたいの。ご飯一杯でさ、200円ちょいって高い方だよね。まあでもたまには、昨日2日連続。昨日とで2日連続か。で、最後に使うな、これ。もうこれで何作るかわかるよね。だからね、ちょっとね、フロア10万に行った、達成した記念に、カレー
You see all the cockroaches? Yeah, that's why I call her the cockroach lady.
食べたいなぁなんて。だから、野菜が玉ねぎと人参、お肉と鶏肉、主食ご飯、唯一の食事はカレール。10万人切る。これはね、前買ったやつのあまり。
Okay, there's another girl. Her name is B or B Mori. I mean, both of them live kind of bad as far as their living conditions, but I don't think I've ever seen a cockroaches in B Mori's apartment. I don't think. I mean, she lives. Trust me, she live like this, so to speak. But I have never seen in B Mori's streams or her videos where she has cockroaches. Yeah, I just want to show you that. Her name. Let me get her name. Okay, her name was Shiokuma and Daisuke. That's her TikTok name. Okay, now let's get back to Mobupi. Now, I'll say this. I don't think Mobupi lives like that. I don't think she's living those kind of conditions. Would be interesting. Like, imagine if she was living those kind of conditions. Because, I mean, she doesn't bathe, but I don't think she's, like, a dirty person, you know. I don't think she, like, would live in, like, a hoarder could, you know. I don't think she's, like, living like that. She just doesn't bathe.
Within the replies, some even declared that they too were a part of the Furo Kyansaru Kaiwai, or bath cancellation community, and that is how the term...
If I'm not mistaken, I think Extra Emily doesn't bathe. That I've heard from out of her mouth. I don't think she bathes either. I mean, there's like a lot of people that don't necessarily bathe, or possibly even take a shower. Like, I understand, like, some people don't believe in bathing and they prefer showers, and there's some people who prefer bathing, not showers. But to say neither is one thing. That's, you know, it's one thing to say neither.
Came to be. I should point out though, there are people who have a really hard time taking a bath because of mental health related issues and not just because they can't be bothered. Anyway, the term would start trending on Twitter, which would catch the attention of the press. This also includes the producers of Abema Prime, an internet-based news TV show. Apparently, they discovered one of Mobupi's videos where she talked about not bathing and decided to invite her to come on as a guest that very same day. Despite it being a last-minute thing, she spoke pretty well about the disadvantages of taking a bath, and surprisingly there was someone else on the show who could understand where she was coming from. In any case, Mobupi's appearance on Abema Prime really did help brand her as the quote-unquote representative of the Furo Kyansaro Kaiwai, and we would see her appear in a lot more different media as a result of that association. I should mention though, Mobupi claims she doesn't sweat much, and there was even a video.
Remember earlier I said that I'm not stereotyping Asian people or even Japanese people. I'm just saying, like, I've heard that they tend to not have an odor. And I guess due to a lack of sweat means they don't have an odor. So I'm assuming what she's saying is she doesn't have an odor. So therefore she doesn't smell. Therefore she doesn't need to take a bath. Now, it came from Nihon, Nihon said it. So I'm just, going based off what I've heard in the past. But let's run it back.
Bath, and surprisingly there was someone else on the show who could understand where she was coming from. In any case, Mobupi's appearance on Abema Prime really did help brand her as the quote-unquote representative of the Furo Kyansaro Kaiwai, and we would see her appear in a lot more different media as a result of that association. I should mention though, Mobupi claims she doesn't sweat much, and there was even a video where they used an odor sensor to measure how badly the Nippon Wachacha girls smelled, and the result was that the others smelled worse than she did.
Interesting. You know what else doesn't take baths? Asmongold. I don't believe Asmongold takes baths. And that's a cockroach king right there. That's the name he's been given by the internet. But yeah, Asmongold doesn't take baths. But that's actually interesting. How come? I wonder why. I wonder why the other members probably smell worse than her. And I'm pretty sure the members take baths and use deodorant and perfume and all that, but I wonder why. I wonder what's the case. I mean, that should be a study. That should be like a scientific study to figure out why. Like, I don't know if there's any research done on that, but I want to know. Let me know in the comment section if there's ever any research on that, on how come a person that takes baths can smell worse than a person that doesn't. That's an interesting study to be done. Very interesting.
Well, there you go. A lot of things changed for Mobupi over the next couple of years. Before Nippon Wachacha's performance at the Budokan, Mobupi announced that's where she would be graduating. Simply put, she wanted to go a different direction from the group and wanted to challenge herself a lot more. After her graduation, she would join a different idol group called Kirameki Anforento. Not only that though, she became the boss of a talent agency called MMG Japan.
So does she still hang out with her day ones though? I understand she move on, but gotta know about your day ones. Don't leave your day ones hanging, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if she still hangs out with them and talks to them. And it's they're good friends still.
Wow. Also, some bonus info, she provided the vocals for Ingrid's theme song, Senzai Teki Uchu Kibo Bishoujo.
Oh, that's pretty cool. And then I think Ingrid just came out in Street Fighter 6. She just came out. So that's very new. Okay, good for her. She's making moves in the world. I'm glad for her. I'm glad she's making moves in the world.
Turns out she's a huge fan of Street Fighter 6. That's pretty awesome. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this video, guys.
I mean, it is awesome. She's making moves in the world. She's done vocal, performances for Street Fighter 6. She has her own talent agency. She's in another group. Hey, man, power to her. power to her.
Thanks for watching. Okay, I'll be honest, I totally understand where she's coming from. Back in the day, there were days where I just didn't shower if I was on holiday, but unfortunately I don't think I have the benefit of not stinking like Mobupi.
Yeah, I wouldn't either, man. I wouldn't either. I don't think I could do what she does, honestly. Cause I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. Once I start smelling my own self, like once I start smelling my armpits, it's time to go take a shower. I'm sorry. It's like I just couldn't like I can't stand smelling in my own like being in my own filth or anything. Like me personally, like once I start like once I feel like I could smell under my arms, it's time to go take a shower. It's truly time to go take a shower. But I don't know how you guys feel about that. Let you know. But yeah, that's about Japan's most smelly idol by Nihon John. Let me know what you think about this video. Let me know your thoughts, your opinion. Are you a shower person? Do you take showers? Or are you a bath person? Or if you live in Japan, do you go to the onsen, or you prefer being at home and taking your bath at home? But I do have a question about the onsen then. Like, is it more common to go to the onsen, or like to like take baths at your house? I feel like onsen, like going to the onsen, is more like for people that don't have baths inside their like homes. I would assume like that's like more of a common thing you do when you don't like have like a bath in your home. But yeah, let me know what you think about this video. I thought it was interesting. I really thought, you know, like, by the title and by the thumbnail, I thought it was an interesting video, and I just wanted to like show it you guys. But I'm really, you know, I'm happy for Mopi. You know, she's making moves in the world. Really glad for her. But you know, leave a comment, like the video, share it, and I'll see you in the next one.